Hello everyone. This is a 40-year-old female with history of acute abdominal pain and distension of abdomen. So here we have two radiographs. One is chest radiograph in erect position and second is abdominal radiograph in supine position. So what are the findings which we see here? I'll give you few seconds to think about it. So what we see here is air lucency within the upper abdomen just beneath the right hemidiaphragm, and this air is outlining the liver margin. On the other radiograph, on the abdominal radiograph also we see the same findings. Large amount of air is outlining the right liver margin and seen beneath the right hemidiaphragm. Apart from this, there is some air within the center of the abdomen which is most likely posterior to the stomach and in the lesser sac. There are certain non-specific prominent small bowel loops in the left mid abdomen and pelvis, but without evidence of obstruction. The lungs are otherwise clear. Heart and mediastinum are normal. There is no other chest abnormality. So, what is the diagnosis? Diagnosis is pneumoperitoneum. So, what do you mean by pneumoperitoneum? So, pneumoperitoneum means whenever there is presence of free air within the intraperitoneal cavity. Now, when you're suspecting pneumoperitoneum, then certain X-rays which are recommended, these are that is known as abdominal series, which include chest radiograph in erect position, supine and erect abdominal radiographs. These are mandatory to look for even small amount of air within the abdomen. Right? If you are suspecting very minimal air and which is not seen on the radiographs, then you can go for the CT scan of the abdomen. Now, what are the causes of the pneumoperitoneum? The causes can be spontaneous or they can be iatrogenic. Spontaneous cause, the most common cause is peptic ulcer perforation like gastric ulcer or duodenal ulcer. The other important cause is bowel obstruction, intestinal ischemia, toxic megacolon, and inflammatory conditions like appendicitis or acute diverticulitis. In neonates or infants, necrotizing enterocolitis is the most common condition which can lead to free air within the abdomen. Now, in iatrogenic causes, we can divide it. Most of the time, it can be traumatic or it can be non-traumatic. If it is traumatic, then it can be because of blunt abdominal trauma or penetrating abdominal trauma. And in non-traumatic causes, the most important cause is recent history of surgery. Any endoscopy was, if done, peritoneal dialysis, feeding tube placement, and any foreign body ingestion that can lead to free air. Right? Now, there are certain signs which have been described in the literature for the pneumoperitoneum. The first sign is crescent sign, which we have already seen. Crescent sign is whenever there is presence of crescent of air beneath the right or left hemidiaphragms. Lucent liver sign is that because of the presence of air, the liver appears lucent compared to the other abdominal structures. Cupular sign is whenever you see air at the level of central tendon of the diaphragm, most of the time in the upper abdomen in the central aspect. Then what is Wriggler sign? Here I have an example to show you the Wriggler sign. In Wriggler sign, because it's normally seen on supine radiographs, bowel wall is outlined by both intraluminal and extraluminal air. So therefore, both sides of the bowel wall can be seen as shown here in this image. You can see both sides of the bowel wall is seen because of the presence of air. Right? So this is known as Wriggler sign. Then other signs are like you can see falciform ligament sign. Falciform ligament sign in which you can see a linear falciform ligament because of the outlining of the air, outlining by the air. Then inverted V sign. Inverted V sign is commonly seen in the region of the pelvis because of the outline, because of the presence of air just adjacent to the lateral umbilical ligaments which are seen at the level of pelvis. Then other signs are like Dodge cap sign, triangle sign, Eurekus sign, lesser sex sign, and football sign. So triangle sign, I have an example here where there is a small amount of air in the form of triangle which is interposed between the large bowel loops, and here it is seen just next to the flank region. So there is a triangular pocket here, so this is known as triangle sign. Then the last sign is football sign. So football sign is seen whenever there is presence of large amount of air within the abdominal cavity. So if there is a massive pneumoperitoneum, then you will see that the air is outlining the whole of the abdominal viscera or abdominal cavity, that is known as football sign, and it will appear in the form of football. Then continuous diaphragm sign, when there is massive pneumoperitoneum, there is large amount of air just beneath the diaphragm on both the sides, which appears as a continuous structure, and that is known as continuous diaphragm sign. It can also be seen in cases of pneumomediastinum. Now there are certain mimics for the pneumoperitoneum. So one of the mimic is known as Chilaiditi syndrome. In Chilaiditi syndrome, what happens that there is presence of colon in the right side. Most of the time, it is hepatic flexure of the colon, which is interposed between the diaphragm and the liver margin. So how will you differentiate it from the pneumoperitoneum? Because of the presence of haustral markings, colon can be identified. So here you can see there are certain haustral haustra are seen, this one and this one. So there are certain haustra. Because of that, we can surely say that this is a colon which is between the diaphragm and the liver. So this is not pneumoperitoneum. Other mimics are like pneumomediastinum, basal linear atelectasis, properitoneal fat stripe may sometimes mimic like a free air, then gas within the skin folds and diaphragmatic undulations. Just a few words about the pneumoretroperitoneum. What is pneumoperitoneum? When you see free air within the retroperitoneal cavity, like here in this example, you can see air is seen surrounding the lateral border of the kidney. So when it is outlining the retroperitoneal structures, then it becomes pneumoretroperitoneum. And if the gas is seen moving in an erect and decubitus view, then it is definitely pneumoperitoneum but not retroperitoneum. This is how you can differentiate between two. With this, I'll end my talk. Thank you very much.